Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my NFL picks for Week 1 of the 2024 season. Before I continue, hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it if you do that. I promise this will be in better format in future weeks. Just been kind of tight with the schedule this week, so it has to be like this for Week 1. The good news is I don't have to post a record since there's been no games yet. So let's get into it. All 16 games. We'll kick it off. Ravens Chiefs tonight's game. I'm going with the Chiefs -3. And by the way, we're going to be picking these games by the spread. Um, I will keep track of all the records and everything. And just give a quick insight of what I think of each game. The spreads are from FanDuel. And this is getting filmed on Wednesday night. So I'm going with the Chiefs -3. They're a 3-point favorite. I just think the Chiefs win. I think this could maybe be a two-possession game. Maybe it's like a 7-point game. Uh, but I think the Chiefs get the job done. They win and cover. Next game, Packers Eagles. I am going to go with the Packers plus 2.5 because I have the Packers winning this game outright in Brazil. By the way, what a dumb decision by the NFL to have this game in Brazil. I mean, like, who cares? Like, who really cares? Um, we have to do things internationally. Why? It's an American sport. But go ahead, give me the Packers plus 2.5. I have them winning outright. I just think the Packers are the better team, honestly. Um, I do think that I'm not high on any team in the NFC East this year, really. Um, Packers, I'm not going to say I'm completely sold on them, but I do think that they're probably one of the top five teams in the NFC. I'm not absolutely sold. As I said, I'm just not sold on any team in the NFC East. Give me the Packers, pull off the mild upset. Next game, Titans Bears. I am gonna go with the Bears -4.5, but something stinks about this game. And I'll admit I am a Tennessee Titans fan, but and listen, we'll see what happens. Caleb Williams first ever started in the NFL. I have gone on record, I believe, and said that I do not think he's gonna pan out at the end of the day. Um, but I do think the Bears win and cover. They're just a better team overall than the Titans if you look at the roster. And the thing with NFL, at least the first 4 weeks, you're going to see some weird stuff because a lot of these games you just got to pick them off paper. The Bears on paper, I think, are 4.5 points better than the Titans, especially at home in Chicago in Soldier Field. Go ahead, give me the Bears. Next game, Steelers Falcons. I am gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons -3.5. Um, Falcons are just a better team than the Steelers, and it pains me to say this a little bit, but I think the streak's gonna end with Tomlin this year. I don't think he is gonna have a above 500 season, primarily because I think Russell Wilson is not gonna do well as a Steelers quarterback. But give me the Falcons -3.5. Next game, Jaguars Dolphins. I am actually going to take the Jaguars plus 3.5. I don't know if they win it at the end of the day, but 3.5 just a little bit too much. I can see this being something like I don't know, like kind of a more high scoring game, 34-31 Dolphins, something like that. 3.5 is just a little bit too much, at least for the pick. So go ahead and give me the Jaguars plus 3.5. Next game is the Patriots versus Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals -8.5. Yes, I know that's a big spread per se, but I do think that the Patriots might be the worst team in the NFL. The Bengals, they're going to be healthy. Jamar Chase is going to give it a go. I like the Bengals -8.5 here. I think they do win this game pretty convincingly. Next game is Texans Colts. Go ahead and give me the Colts to pull off the mild upset in this one. Divisional game at home, week 1. I think this is going to be a great game. But at the end of the day, remember, Anthony Richardson is going to be the starting quarterback for the Colts. We didn't really get a chance to see a lot of him last year, but what we saw of him was very promising. I think they might surprise a team like the Houston Texans, who I am really high on. Um, and I'll come out and say it. I do have the Texans winning the Super Bowl, but I do think that the Colts pull off the upset here in Week 1. The mild upset. Give me them plus 2.5. Next game, Vikings Giants. I am gonna take the Vikings minus 1.5. I think they kind of surprised the Giants and kind of win this game kind of convincingly. The Giants might be the worst team in the NFL, and I think that's going to show against a Vikings team that I don't think is going to be that good personally, but I do think there are some strong points on this team. Like they will be in a lot of dogfights, this Vikings team, and I think the Vikings win this game pretty convincingly. Go ahead and give me the Vikings minus 1.5. Next game, Panthers Saints. Um, I am going to call for the upset in this one. Go ahead, give me the Panthers plus 3.5. I think they win the thing outright. I am not high on the Saints at all this year. I think they have a head coach that should have been fired at the end of last season. The team basically quit on Dennis Allen. If you guys don't know, last year the final game of the season, Saints Falcons. You might look at that score and be like, well, the Saints won that game, like I think 48-17, something like that, some blowout score. But Dennis Allen wanted to take a knee at the Falcons 2 yard line, and the team basically ignored him, and they decided to punch one in for a touchdown late. Um, and I think the team basically tuned out Dennis Allen. I think I'm not. I mean, maybe not quitting on Dennis Allen is the right term, but definitely tuning him out. I don't. I think his voice in the locker room is non-existent. I think the Saints are going to be in for a bad year. I'm going to take the Panthers plus 3.5. I think they win this game outright. They made a coaching hire, the Carolina Panthers, that is kind of an under the radar hire, offensive minded head coach that um, was with the Bucks. I think he will bring an offensive mindset that is, I think, desperately needed for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Give me the Panthers outright upset plus 3.5. Next game is Cardinals Bills. Bills minus 6.5. Um, I'm going to take the Bills minus 6.5. This is one of these games that I will admit the spread is kind of big, but I do think the Bills win this game. And I actually think they probably win it by 2 possessions. Not the Dolphins. The Cardinals, I think, are going to be improved this year, but at the end of the day, I feel like the Bills at home, week 1 in Orchard Park, I think they get the crowd into it and take care of business at home against the Cardinals. I'm not as high on the Bills. I'm not really too high on them, but I do think they're still going to be one of the better teams in the AFC. Raiders Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers minus 3. Jim Harbaugh, what a great hire by the Chargers. I mean, I can't say enough about that hire. He will. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win a Super Bowl with the Chargers, but I am gonna say the Chargers are gonna have a complete turnaround. Um, Raiders are a team that I think is gonna be a little bit better than what some people think, but they're not gonna be that good. Give me the Chargers minus 3. That's our team waiting to win 12, 13 games there. Broncos Seahawks. Um, I'm going to take the Seahawks minus 5.5 here. Bo Nix, his first start on the road against Seattle, against a defensive minded head coach, Mike McDaniel, not Mike McDaniel, Mike McDonald, um, who, in my opinion, is probably one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. Zen Questfield, I think that the Seahawks go ahead, take care of business, win this game. I think actually kind of convincingly. I think there'll be some talks. Is Bo Nix really that guy? This will be one of these games that I think some people will panic at. I'm not gonna panic at it. So go ahead, give me the Seahawks minus 5.5. Cowboys Browns. I can't wait for this game because of who's calling this game in the booth. I think Tom Brady in the booth is going to be really interesting. I really do. And by the way, the NFL trying to limit Tom Brady because he's a partial owner of the Raiders. I think is absolute bullcrap, to put it kindly. The NFL should be blessed that Tom Brady is calling games on Sunday, the game of the week on Sunday for Fox. This has been well known for about 2 years now. There is no excuse from the NFL for this happening. I am going to take the Cleveland Browns minus 2.5. The Cowboys, I think, are way too one-dimensional. They're not going to have much of a running game, in my opinion. It's all going to be on Dak, and I think against a defense that has a lot of talent on it, like the Cleveland Browns, I think they win and cover. Next game is Commanders Bucks. Um, I'm gonna. I think the Bucks win the game at the end, but I think this game has 27-24 Bucks written all over it. I am gonna take the Commanders plus 3.5, but I do think the Bucks win at the end. Um, but with the spread pick, give me the Commanders. Um, I think this is gonna be a good game. I do. As I said, I think the score has 27-24 Bucks written all over it. You look at this game overall, Jaden Daniels' first game, I think he will be successful in DC. Bucks still have some guys on defense though, and with a defensive coach in Todd Bowles, I think the Bucks find a way win this game. But 3.5 a little bit too much for me. Go ahead and give me the Commanders plus 3.5. Sunday Night Football. Rams Lions. Matt Stafford back in Detroit for round 2. Last year the Lions beat him in the wild card game. A lot of people are high on the Lions this year, including yours truly. I'm taking the Lions minus 3.5. I do think this game will be close at the end of the day. Um, But I think the Lions could win this game by 2 possessions. I feel more confident saying that the Lions win this game by 2 possessions than the Rams winning it outright. So that's why I'm going to go with the Lions minus 3.5. And then not Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Jets Niners. I'm taking the Niners minus 4.5. Trent Williams, he's back. They just signed him to a big extension. This team, in my opinion, the Niners, they have angered me a lot the past few years, primarily because I picked them to win the Super Bowl basically the past 3 years, and they came up short all 3 years. But this game should be interesting at least for a half. Aaron Rodgers is back. Hopefully he stays healthy, but I think the Niners actually win this game kind of convincingly. I do have the Jets winning the AFC East, but on the road week 1 against the Niners, that's just a tough axe for really any team in my opinion. Um, I like the Niners in this game. I think they win this game pretty convincingly. So those are the picks for week 1. Um, I did put together a $1 parlay while picking those games, so I'll know the record of my picks and all that. Comment down below. Tell me your picks. I always like hearing from you all. Thanks for watching. McD the Beast signing off.